record on my computer. Awesome. So we are really honored to have shared space and knowledge and resilience with all of our 2019-2020 NASPA undergraduate fellows. We have a couple of digital engagement guidelines before we begin our program. So if you all could please keep your mics muted for now and during our fellows' reflections, just to be respectful of their space, that would be great. We want you all to consider using gallery view so that you can see everyone. And also if you want to specifically support one person or a couple of people, you can pin their video by clicking their square and then 3 dots on the side. We definitely want to encourage you all again to use the chat feature in positive and uplifting ways, or to let us know if there's any tech issues. And also, since we are offering a lot of space for fellow reflection, we want to emphasize bravery, vulnerability, and also confidentiality. The other thing that we want to say before we begin all of this is that wherever we are residing on stolen and occupied land. So we definitely want to acknowledge where we are. I live in Vacaville, so I am also on Patwin land, similar to the occupied lands of UC Davis. So that is important to name in our space here as well. The other thing is that we are in a really tense racial climate right now with a pandemic. Like, I can't believe that this is our lives at some point, but even in the middle of a global pandemic that we are experiencing, we are witnessing all of these recently publicized events and acts of violence on Black lives. And with the NASPA Undergraduate Fellows Program, our mission and our goal is to increase the number of historically underrepresented, underserved, disenfranchised peoples in the student affairs profession. And we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the ways in which we have also perpetuated harm on our Black colleagues in the field of higher education. And I think that also my comey, Sarah, has stated it best. This just reminds us why we need to do better as a field, why we need to do better as colleagues, as people. And in our work that we do in our departments and on our campuses, we have to be justice-centered, and we have to make sure that we are doing that work every day. We will always be committed to supporting our Black students, the magic of our Black students and colleagues, and our mentors especially. A lot of the labor that Black folks have given to NUF across the country, and especially in our UC Davis program, does not go unrecognized. And we love you all, we support you all, we're here for you all, and we look forward also to welcoming future Black scholars into our program and centering and loving their experiences and nurturing them. So with all of that being said, you can take a deep breath in. And the program flow for today, what's happening? We're gonna talk a little bit about NUF, especially for those who are joining us who may not be aware of what NUF is. And then we're going to talk about some of our highlights. There's a lot to be proud of this year, so we're excited to share that with you. And then of course, the big part of our program is our fellow reflections and the time for our fellows to really share their story with all of you. We have a little bit of mentor appreciation, committee and support staff shout out. We're gonna talk about how to get involved with NUF. We want to present our graduating fellows with you all. And that'll be our day. We're also gonna do hopefully a group picture. So I hope that folks can stay around until, like, honestly, I don't know if it's gonna last until 6, but that's what we have on the calendar. So I hope that y'all are with us. Feel free to be snacking, drinking during this time. I don't care what you're drinking in that mug, you know. It's cool. Bring your full selves. That is what NUFP is about. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Michael.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chrissy. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here to just share a little bit about what is the NASPA Undergraduate Fellowship Program and a little bit about the program here at UC Davis. So Chrissy already touched on it a little bit, but the overall umbrella for the NASPA Undergraduate Fellows Program is to diversify our field in student affairs and higher education. Throughout the nation, people do their programs depending on their campus will fluctuate a little differently. So for our program here at UC Davis, we have a semi-structured mentoring program and we have a cohort experience. So our fellows meet every month to go ahead and have their regular meetings, and then they also have professional meetings. So actually they meet twice every other week. And then they also meet with their mentors and they get to go ahead and establish that relationship depending how often they want to meet and how connected they want to be as well. And then we also provide some professional development opportunities for them. And they do have the option of attending our regional conference for Region 6. That's the region we're in, and then our national conference. And it's all dependent on funding as well. And then lastly, the undergraduate fellowship program is for those folks that are interested in pursuing a field in student affairs or higher education. Sometimes folks don't necessarily work under the Division of Student Affairs, but they definitely still do student affairs stuff with us. So we always say it's student affairs and higher education. Next. Yay, and here's a picture of our lovely committee, and our committee is here with us today. So shout out to them. And then this is also a picture of our mentors for this year. Not all the mentors are there, but this was a picture that we took at the beginning of the year. So we'll be giving more mentor shout outs towards the end of our program this evening. And then I'll pass it over to Sarah.
Hello, everybody. It is absolutely wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces. Here is a photo of those of us that attended the alumni panel that we had with B and Jaime. That was amazing, amazing. And that actually leads really very well into the highlights for this year. This year, we were really confronted with a number of things that threw us a little bit out of whack. We were not able to send our fellows to conferences due to the COVID-19 crisis. And while that wasn't able to happen, I just want to say, and I think the committee wants to say, that our fellows engaged critically in conversations, asked unbelievable questions, participated in dialogue that just really opened up a lot of opportunity to connect with each other, connect with us, for us to connect with them. And so we really thought that that was a highlight, the way that our fellows embraced the change, really kind of went into the discomfort and allowed us to really enter into this time with a lot of grace and compassion for each other and for us as a committee. So we want to say thank you to our fellows for really helping us create that graceful space. We got people who are going to grad school. So just so you know, we have people doing the thing even amidst all of the other things that are going on right now. So if you are going to head out to grad school, if you could use the chat to let us know where you're going to be at, that would be amazing. We also have folks that are that have accepted job offers. So please share where you're going to be headed if you've accepted a job offer. Beyond grad school acceptances and job offers, our fellows are also completing their classes that are now have been moved online, succeeding academically. They are accepting internships. They are participating in their own job searches that maybe have started in the midst of everything going on. There are fellows that are embracing the gap year and are going to be taking some time off. And so if you have opportunities or suggestions for them, please share those as well. We had unbelievable alumni support, as Michael mentioned in the chat. This alumni panel was unbelievable. It gave our fellows a real opportunity to talk with alumni who are in the field and who have navigated a number of different positions over time, and who really had a lot of amazing words of wisdom to share. And then we also want to say, like, our mentors this year have been unbelievably engaged and have really allowed for our fellows to have a great experience, and also have made our jobs easier as the committee. So we've been able to rely on our mentors to really come through, and a lot of them have put in a lot of labor into sharing resources and have been able to, like, really put our fellows onto a good track. So thank you to all of you. This year has been really wonderful despite all of the things that have been going on. So, and I'm going to turn it over.
Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button. So thank you all for being here today, especially to our fellows. As everyone's mentioned, this is really a time to celebrate the work that you all have done, especially considering everything that we have had to confront as a team and as individuals right now. So that being said, we did ask our fellows to do a little bit of prep work for this meeting and prepare their own reflections. So most of the rest of this time we really want to spend celebrating your words and having you all be able to speak to what you have learned. There are a couple of prompts that I wanted to make sure some of our guests also are aware of in terms of what folks are going to be sharing with us. So we've asked all of our NUFs to share something that they learned this year, something that touched their hearts, something that they will share with others, their future plans, as well as any shout outs or acknowledgements that they have for any folks who have helped them this year in this space and outside of this space. So that being said, we're going to kick off with my fellow, Alondra. I believe you're up first.
Yay, thanks. So hi y'all, my name's Alondra. I use she, they pronouns. So something that I learned was the importance of like realizing the work I've done in student affairs and not downplaying it. Because as I came in as a transfer student and I've only had about 2 school years, so it's easy to kind of say I haven't done that much work, but I've learned to kind of see the value of what I've done. And then something that touched my heart was the measures and efforts that each mentor, and not only the mentors, but the planning committee takes to offer the fellows. I really find it very heartwarming how much everybody cares and how all the other fellows care for each other too, because we all support each other, kind of root for each other. And then I also talked about networking tips. So to kind of expand, for me, like, it was hard to network for me because I find it very intimidating, but it helped that I kind of restructured it in my mind. Instead of, networking, I called it like trying to find like a little community in my back pocket so it wouldn't feel so intimidating. Because after all, networking doesn't just have to be like professional. It can be, friends and just folks, And then my plans for after I graduate, I plan to work full-time during my gap year before applying for graduate programs in school counseling. That's the plan, and that's what I'm sticking to, so hopefully it works out that way. And some acknowledgements. So a huge thank you to Erin, who was my mentor this year. She was not only my own little cheerleader, but she made my decisions and beliefs feel valued and accepted. And of course, to the entire NUFP committee and all the other mentors and fellows for dedicating yourselves to this work. Because I know it's a lot of commitment, but it's good work. So thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Alondra. We've really appreciated all of what you've shared in our cohort. And now I get to introduce to all of you my mentee, my fellow, Davaris Robinson. Also, can someone let me know what happens if I spotlight the video? Like, hold on, let me find Davaris because Davaris, where are you? There. What happens if I spotlight his video?
It's not changing on my end.
Okay, cool. Well,
it
features their video.
Mm-hmm. It went from gallery view to just that.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Well, Davaris, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Within my time with NUFP this year, I think the main thing that stuck out to me was seeing how I wanted to use what I wanted to go into with student affairs and being a student affairs practitioner. It's a huge labor of love. Like, it can be intense. It's emotionally, it can be socially, physically, depending on how you track yourself, even financially draining, but just seeing how fruitful it is in regards to the communities you get to impact, the communities you get to network and build with and actually inspire social change at the higher education level it's like invaluable to me. So seeing that and being able to work closely with y'all was amazing for me throughout this whole time. For me personally, I was personally moved by the mentors and even just the committee's willingness to work with us with where we were at. I know I had a lot of unforeseen challenges that came up for me within this academic school year, on top of trying to make sure that I was really engaged in understanding the profession that I wanted to get into. And it meant the world to me that people were very like, take a breath, eat this, we're here for you, let me support you in this capacity. It can make a difference. In terms of what I've learned, I really want to make sure that I'm able to infuse that into not only like my professional social life, but even just my everyday mannerisms, the way that I carry, the way that I interact with folk, because it's invaluable. And again, like, this work that we're doing is supposed to, for me, it's saving lives. So that's my mission. And in terms of just future plans, I plan on pursuing a master's in higher education and student affairs this fall at the University of San Francisco. And I'll also be serving as the graduate intern for USF's Black Resource Center. So I'm super stoked for that, to be completely honest. And I'm excited just to be able to be in that position, in that capacity. I'd like to give a special thank you to my ancestors, because I literally would not be here if not for them. And then everybody that is also in this space. You guys have poured into me in a numberable amount of ways. And I really just want to be able to give that forward and back. For me, that's what this is about. So thank you all a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Davaris. I appreciate you. And I would like to introduce Cecilia. It's your turn.
Hey y'all, it's Ceci, she, her pronouns. And so what I've been taught by NUF is some very practical skills, such as how to apply to graduate programs, how to really talk to and connect with professors and professionals in my future career. Something that I really touched my heart throughout the program was that listening to other passionate individuals that are really dedicated to their work, and how you all strive to support each student's journey through UC Davis. I see it a lot with my first years as like a resident advisor, and I know, like, for me, it's easier to see the work pay off because I know they're still on campus, they're still continuing school, and I still check in on them and everything. And some tips I'll share and advice I'll give to other people is how to apply to grad school and how to choose your program, and also a very important one, which is managing your time and knowing when to say, putting some space in between the people that you're helping out, because sometimes you need some time to yourself too, which was really hard for me because I always like to be available 24/7, but that can't be done all the time. And so what I plan to do is after graduation, which is a little bit of ways for me in 2021, I plan to apply to some grad programs and work during my gap year. Don't know what work, whatever I can get typically. Hopefully like a hospital or even like a substitute teacher maybe. But I also want to give a huge thanks to my mentor, Vanessa, who has helped me so much this year. Always been there to calm me down when I was going a bit stir crazy this past quarter and not knowing what exactly to do. And also using her connections to help me to talk to an admin at one of my top choices for my grad program. Love y'all. Thank you for this year.
You're awesome, Cecilia.
Thank you so much, Ceci. And now our next person up is Sierra.
Hi, y'all. So this year enough, I really learned the importance of staying connected and true to oneself while in the work environment and what it really means to bring yourself to work fully. And my mentor, Elia, has always motivated me and encouraged me to stay in the now and enjoy time, and has truly touched my heart. And this great community and what it's taught me is something that I will always share with others. My future plan is attending my multicultural community counseling and social justice education master's program at San Diego State this fall. And two people I'd like to acknowledge are Panji for providing me with this opportunity, and my mentor Elia for being an amazing person and a great source of support, as well as the NUFP team in large who shared both knowledge and space with me this past year.
Should I start?
Yes, thanks, Sierra. Go ahead, Joel.
Okay. Hi, my name's Joel. I use any pronouns. So I learned a lot this year. I really spent a lot of time working with my mentor, Kristen, on my interview skills and things like that. It was really great to kind of get an opportunity to talk not only to her, but just to other student affairs folks in general about student affairs interviews. I mean, some of y'all know they can be like 5 to 8 hours. They're super different from a lot of other interviews. And like when folks outside of student affairs hear that, they're like, are you okay? Like, what do you mean? Like the interviews are that long. So it was really great to kind of like get to practice those and like talk them through. And Kristen really helped me develop a lot of the skills I'll need to like keep doing those. That was really great. And also Kristen's kindness and confidence was really, really amazing and made me feel really confident. Going into interviews like really terrifying, but I'm really grateful for like the confidence that she had in me. It was really, really great. And yeah, I've been sharing experience with folks because I don't know, I started really early applying for jobs. And yeah, I kind of got a lot of experience with like shaping my resume and cover letters and stuff. So I've been like offering help to folks, and it's really fun. I like looking at resumes and sort of like helping people improve them. So like reach out if you want help. I'm totally happy to do it. But yeah, I feel like I've been getting to this. I'm moving to Boston next month, which is like terrifyingly close. This year's been flying by, but I'm gonna work at the Tufts University LGBT Center as their first program administrator, which is a really, really amazing opportunity. I got hired at like literally the last second before hiring freezes started happening at universities. So I like barely got this opportunity, and it was really awesome. Thanks for all the congrats. That's really great. And I'm super grateful for Jay for doing so much with me. We joke that we like see each other every single day, and not so much anymore, obviously, but we even like were in this fellowship together, which was really amazing. And also grateful for Juno, who graduated last year and was in NUFP. They introduced me to NUFP, and I'm really, really grateful for that because this was awesome. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you so much, Joel. The great segue, Jay, you're up next.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jay. I use they, them pronouns, as you can see. My little image is me and Joel, because like Joel mentioned, we kind of tried to do everything together this year. So we'll get to that more later. But this year I learned a lot about cover letters and resumes. I honestly had no idea how to approach those things. And I was really grateful to have an amazing, lovely mentor who taught me a lot of things, but in particular, like gave me sort of the inside knowledge I needed to like figure out what a good cover letter would even be like. And also Nacho really taught me how to hold on to like values and passions that you have while still working within an institution, because that's something that I was really concerned about in starting student affairs work. Very grateful for Nacho, my lovely mentor, always checking in on me to make sure I'm fed, make sure I'm hydrated, making sure that I'm taking care of myself. Because I think that's what student affairs really should be about, making sure that we're all taken care of. Already trying to share my resume and cover letter tips. I actually helped my mom write a cover letter, and that felt just so good because she didn't have access to like learning that information. And so I'm grateful that I could give that to her and work with her on that, give back to my mama. I don't have any plans because the world's kind of wild right now, but I'm okay. I'll be all right, and I hope I can continue to give back to my community. And I just want to again thank and acknowledge my mentor, Nacho, for showing me what passionate and just student affairs work looks like. You really have been an amazing mentor, and I love talking about Avatar with you, and you're just an amazing friend and mentor. And I also, of course, want to thank Joel for being my student affairs life partner. I'm really excited to go into this realm of careers with you. I know you're already there, but hopefully I'll be right behind you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jay. I know that I've learned a lot just from my interactions with you as well, so appreciate you a ton. And now we get to share some space with Mylin.
Hi, everyone. It's kind of weird because I can't see my camera, so I think it's fine. So this year, NUF was really, really an amazing opportunity for me. And I think the biggest takeaway was I'm a third year at UC Davis right now, and I kind of just have been like bumping around to different places, trying to figure out what I'm interested in. And with NUF, it really gave me more like direction and redefine my knowledge that I do want to work with people, and that my passion is helping people make connections. So whether that's in student affairs and higher education, we'll see, but it definitely gave me more experiences. I think as well, something that's really important to me when I walk into a space is that I always look around and see who is in the space with me, and whether they're my instructors or my colleagues or just the representation in general. And what NUFP has taught me is how important it is. And especially in this climate, I think looking around, understanding that we have to be in the spaces if we want to change them. It's another form of empowerment that NUF has just given us, like all of us fellows. So one of my favorite memories, or the things that I thought about the most, was every time I would go into the room and during our meetings, I would hear everyone's stories about how, we were involved in campus and what we were doing. And it was so empowering just to hear everyone's stories and the impacts that everyone was making. Also, I couldn't be here without Valerie. So I really wanted to give a shout out to my mentor. Not only like, if we're going to talk practically, yes, she helped me to understand that there's so many different campus or departments on campus, and so many different fields that I could go into, and that student affairs is not just one big thing, but rather an umbrella, and we can all be involved in different ways. But I think more importantly, every time we met, it was like such a mental break, and we could just talk about our life and how things were going and how important it is to take a step back too. So in the future, as I mentioned before, I'm a third year right now. I'm going to be continuing as a fourth year, and I will be continuing with NUFP next year, which I'm super excited about. This year, the conferences weren't able to happen, so next year I'm hoping to get a spot on and work towards a better future. Thank you, everyone.
Yay, thank you, Mylin. Micah, would you like to go next? I mean, you don't really have a choice.
Hello, everybody. So I learned, I think one of the most important things that I learned was that when I'm doing the work related to student affairs, to always remember to take time for myself, to re-energize, rest, and do some self-care. That's something that I wasn't very good at, and I always thought that when I wasn't doing anything like work related or school related, that I was being unproductive. But like really grateful that with this community, I was able to learn that no, this is necessary for me to like continue to do my work here, along with tips and tricks for job interviews, because yeah, I had no idea what to turn to for those, and I know that they can be different depending on the job that you apply to. I was really nervous for my interview for DCAC. I took that workshop and even that alumni panel for NUFP, and that really did help just kind of give me some more information of what to expect, what I could do, and just because there were things that I didn't even know that you could do. For like example, like negotiate your salary. I did not know that. You actually had like the power and the effort to actually do that. So definitely took a lot of knowledge from that. So I am very appreciative of the time and effort that my mentor and the NUFP community and other NUFP mentors dedicated to providing us with these resources and opportunities, and your knowledge of like student affairs. Very appreciative of that. What I'll be sharing are tips and tricks for interviews. I just feel like a lot of people in communities that I usually also like interact with, that's something that's very like nerve wracking, especially like right now with many interviews going on, like not even face to face, but through a computer screen. So I feel like that's something that people really do take from that. Right now, I'm kind of a little undecided on my future plans. It's kind of like I'm still job searching. I am still waiting to hear back from DCAC. It's been a little bit over a month, which means I may have to like send them a follow-up email or so. But I think with everything that's going on, I'll wait a little bit because it's just crazy right now. The world's just crazy. So I mean, as much as I decided my plans, yeah, and I know grad school in the future. I just need to find out what I'm gonna do after I graduate. And I would like to send a huge thanks to my mentor Amelia for always being there for me and for always cheering me on. Like for whatever, like she was always there as a leader when I told her about my interview with DCAC. She was there. She kind of talked me through it a little bit, kind of like calm my nerves a little bit. So thank you for that. And also big thanks to the NUFP committee and the NUFP mentors for all of y'all's work, for this opportunity. And to the NUFP cohort, y'all are amazing. I really did enjoy like getting to connect with y'all and just hearing like all of these successes. And like congratulations to everybody, honestly, like we're making it through.
Yes, thank you so much, Micah. I want to invite Tanya to take some time to be able to share with everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya. So something that I learned through NUFP that I thought was really instrumental in me deciding what to do is that I don't have to follow a straight line toward my career. At first, I was really kind of taken aback that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I should go into this or whatever it is. And just talking to my mentor E and hearing from other people, it was like super awesome to be reassured that it's okay to try different things and to decide like that wasn't for me, or I'm really excited about this, I can go towards this. And so that's something that I loved hearing whenever I went to the workshops and heard from other fellows. Something that touched my heart was just how comfortable everyone was with sharing their experiences and just being open with just their struggles or their accomplishments or what it took to get there, because it's just comforting to know that I could also share that whenever we had our workshops. Something that I'll share is the resources and the support that I've received through NUFP. I think for me, it's really important. Like, I love it when people say, like, you get on the elevator, you make it to the top, and you need to send the elevator back down. That's like one of my favorite things. And so that's something that I'll definitely do, is sharing all the resources that I've gained, and just, being, hoping to be a role model for other people. And that leads into what I want to do after. I'm currently a third year, so I'm looking into credential and master's programs because I want to be a high school math teacher. And that's something that I hashed through a lot with my mentor E, and we came to that decision after a while, because I was telling them, like, these are my goals, this is what I want to do, but I don't know what career really lends itself perfectly to that. And so it was really awesome to figure it out. And just thinking on my own experiences, being someone who was like, oh my gosh, I'm like horrible at math, because I never saw anyone who looked like me who was teaching those classes, or who was pouring into me, until I got to college. And I was like, I can totally do this, and I can go back and tell people, like, you, like, sitting in the back, let me help you out, and let me tell you that you are good at math. You just think you're not good at math. So that's something that I'm excited to do. I'm really looking into UC Davis's program, but I'm still doing my research on other programs. But yeah, I'm excited to get my master's, get my credential, and share what I've gained through NUF and the experiences I've gained just at UC Davis in general. But yeah, I really want to give a huge thank you to E, because they were just like instrumental in me figuring out what I want to go into, and help me find out what paths were even available, because there were so many things that I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could do that. I didn't even know about like PhD programs in education, and so there were so many things. And E, you've been like a huge inspiration to me. So I look forward to, staying connected, and just, continuing this awesome relationship we built so far. And I also want to thank the NUF committee for all you guys have done for us. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Rowan was unable to join us all. So I asked you all to send positive thoughts, positive vibes out their way, reach out. But it was a great honor being able to work with them this year. We had great discussions. And so I appreciate the time that we had together, and appreciate that we both got to be part of the program.
Yay, thank you so much for that, Joe. And our next person up is Christian.
Hi, everyone. Narechusco hi arokireska. Christian, that's our traditional bienvenida in Purepecha. So I use they, them pronouns. I learned a lot of stuff this year, obviously. I think the biggest thing, I put this in the university, but I think in general, a lot of folks that I know go into careers and they really like keep quiet to themselves and feel like they have to sacrifice their values or their political beliefs. So I think what I learned this year with student affairs is like, you can have both. You don't have to sacrifice your values or your political beliefs and still have like the career that you want or in the field that you want, which I really appreciate. Something that I really loved about this year was my mentor, Monet. They're hella dope. They're hella cool. I loved working with them. Seeing them every time I went to the LGBTQ center, and seeing our other fellows, Jay and Joel. That was really dope. Some of the knowledge that I really want to share with like other folks, as some of y'all have already mentioned, like resume and like CV and cover letter tips. That's hella important. And I feel like a lot of us, like, we just go into college and like we're expected to just like know how to do this stuff. So I really appreciate that we got to learn, and I hope like other folks can learn from us as well. So as for the future, right now what it's looking like is doing a gap year. I haven't really applied to a lot of jobs. And to be honest, it's not looking like I'm really going to be working this school year or this like upcoming year, like after I graduate. So I really want to take that time to like study for my GRE, and start working on like my essays for graduate school, because I want to apply for graduate programs either in history and or Chicano and Chicano studies, which is like really my passion, what I really love. And finally, I want to give a really huge thanks to the mentor cohort, the planning committee for NUF, for all the work that y'all do. I know it's a lot of stuff to like have like you're already like working plus all this other stuff that you're doing on top of that. So I know it's a lot, and thanks to the rest of the fellows. Y'all are really dope. It was such a good year. Thanks.
Thank you again, Christian. And Juan?
Yeah, so something I learned this year through NUF was definitely like how big student affairs is and like how many different areas of a university encompass student affairs. I think it's important that like people know this, just because like I feel like there's so many like different paths people can take when it comes to choosing like what they want to work in, like if they want to work in student affairs. So like I really appreciated that, because I feel like for me, when I was considering like student affairs, like I wasn't sure like which area I wanted to do, but I feel like the knowledge that I gained enough definitely like allowed me to get a little more perspective. Like there's so many different areas that like you could work in when it comes to student affairs. Something that like really like touched me, I guess, this year is seeing such a diverse group of student affairs professionals from so many different parts of like the university come together and like empower and support students who are interested in student affairs. So I really appreciate like all of you, like the committee, the mentors, everybody else that was like involved with NUF. Like I think it's really awesome, like the work that y'all are doing, and hopefully like it continues and like we can all continue it. Something that like I want to teach others is like continue to let others know how important it is that we continue to do equitable work within student affairs, to ensure that we are supporting students of all backgrounds, especially students from historically underrepresented groups. I think taking into consideration like people's backgrounds is definitely like super important, and I feel like allowing them to like giving them space to share their experiences and share like voice their grievances. I feel like particularly now, like in the time, like what's happening now, like issues, I think it's super important that we are doing that. In terms of my plans, after graduation, I plan on taking some time off, hopefully working full time for the year with students, hopefully somewhere within student affairs. But after that, I do plan on applying to law school and continuing that route. And then in terms of shout out, again, like thank you to the committee and everyone else that was involved with NUF. Y'all did awesome. I really appreciate like all the work that y'all do. I also want to send a shout out to Panji for just being like an awesome like supervisor, introducing me to like this opportunity and like just being a mentor in general. And then I also want to give a special shout out to Spencer. I feel like I gave Spencer a bit of like a hard time this year, just because like I was like super like didn't know what I wanted to do. And I feel like as a career counselor, like, you know, it was like a match made like to happen. So like he helped me like figure out like what I wanted to do. Even though like I was constantly changing my mind, like, oh, I'm gonna do grad school. Oh, just kidding, I'm not gonna do grad school. Just kidding, actually, I am gonna do grad school. Just kidding, I'm doing law school, you know, like, and he supported me in every step through that journey. So I really appreciate like all the support that he's given me. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Juanita.
Jordan, the floor is yours if you're ready to go.
Okie dokie. Sorry, like my eyes are adjusting to like my camera because it's a little bright. But I guess the one thing I learned with like NUF was really that even with my degree, because I'm a biochemistry degree, that I can use it in ways that I never really thought about. And that was something, it really took me to kind of like solidify knowing that you can go into student affairs with any type of degree in order to actually help students in no matter form or shape. And I think that was something that kind of really blew my mind. And I met a lot of student affairs career staff at Davis who actually had STEM degrees and were still doing student affairs in a way that I didn't really think in my mind with student affairs, because I'm so used to like seeing career staff work with students directly as advisors. So that was something that I learned. For something that really like kind of touched my heart was like receiving the UC Davis portfolio from the NUF team, just because for me, going through UC Davis as a first-gen student with a single mother, it was something I always had to kind of like provide for myself and fight for myself by being at Davis. And that was actually one thing that really wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to actually get for myself. And so to receive that in the mail, I was actually like tearful, and I was just like, oh gosh, oh. So I really enjoyed it, and it was just like, I even showed my mom, I was like, Mom, look what I got. So it was something that was new to both of us because she actually never finished school, and something with NUF was actually giving her the power to also finish school. So she's in school now. My future plans include applying for jobs across California and in like the Seattle, Washington area, because I hope to actually find a program that will allow me to use my science degree and help students who are underrepresented actually get research positions. Because that was something I noticed as a NUF mentee, that a lot of our students who had learning disabilities or students of color, it was always harder to find research possibilities and ones that would pay them, because it was always either one or the other. And that was something that I actually wanted to start working on as a career staff. And also for the summer, I will be working with Avenue E here at UC Davis as a career staff. For those of you who don't know, Avenue E is a summer bridge program for our transfer engineering students. So helping them transition from a community college to the UC Davis campus. So I'm really excited for that. And I want to do a shout out for my mentor, Cecily, because she really did remind me for the last 2 years to kind of stop and take a breather and just rethink. Because I'm so used to going from A, B, C, D in all my plans. And if something doesn't happen, I'm going straight to like plan E. And she's just let me know that it's okay to stop and enjoy your walk. I also want to thank just Sarah for all the times you found me on the couch in the WRC, because no matter how bad of a day it was, you always were able to keep me pushing, and just also letting me know that it's okay to push back even against professors, because I think that was something that you always knew was going on, is I was always pushing against professors every quarter. And just thank you, NUF team, for like having me for the last 2 years. It really kind of developed who I am today.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I've appreciated your energy in our cohort for the last 2 years. We will definitely miss all of your smiles. And now we'd like to welcome to the floor Mario.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Mario. I use he, him, his pronouns. And this year I learned that student affairs has a really large impact across any campus, just because I think that's not something that I was too familiar with, like what student affairs was when coming to UC Davis, but I realized that it's like definitely an essential service in supporting our students during our journey, especially everyone here, right? That's why we're getting involved with it. Like I can't imagine not having all the different centers that support student diversity on campus. So I'm really grateful for those things. And yeah, just this whole year just taught me even more how important student affairs really is. And I think what touched me the most was just hearing everyone's personal stories and experiences, like especially in this cohort. It was just awesome, like being able to sit around and just talk about our highs and lows and just everything else that was going on in our lives. And I think that really helped me learn a lot more. So I was really grateful for that. And something that I want to share with other people, kind of like what my first point mentioned, is that we've all been greatly impacted by a student affairs professional at some point in time here at UC Davis. A lot of people don't recognize that, but just thanking those who have touched us is like super important, and I want other people to know. As for what's happening, oh, thanks for all the comments. I'm reading all of them as I'm reading this. As for what I want to do in the future, so I am graduating, and I think for a long time I was just unsure of what I wanted to do, and it was just like giving me a lot of anxiety whether or not I wanted to take the year off. But I decided that that's what's best. I think I've been in school long enough, and honestly, I'm like burned out. I'm just like drained from being in school, so I definitely need this break. And the plan in the future is definitely graduate school, but right now I'm stuck in between choosing student affairs or going into teaching. I think Tanya also mentioned that she wants to be a teacher. So yeah, I contemplated this over this past year. and I had some experience like working at a school. So just like touching students' lives even before their journey in college is really meaningful for me. So that's why I'm considering it, but I haven't closed the door on student affairs just yet. So I'm like, it's up in the air. Like I'm still gonna take this time to reflect and choose what's best for me. And then lastly, I want to give a huge shout out to Michael. It's been really fun talking to Michael for these past 2 years, getting to know him a lot better, hearing about the places that he's traveled, and his experiences have really helped me throughout these last 2 years. And I know that like, especially during these times, you know, this isn't what we imagined for our last quarter, and it's been difficult to communicate, but again, I just know that he's so supportive and that he's always there for me. And during this next gap year, I do plan on staying in Davis, so I'll definitely be keeping in touch with all of you who are continuing, and Michael as well. Yeah, and that's all. Thanks, y'all.
All right. So this program would not be possible if it wasn't for a wonderful, wonderful group of people who took time out of their schedules, who shared their time, their wisdom, their mentorship with all of our wonderful NUF fellows. Thank you all for being ears to listen to what they were going through and navigating on campus, for sharing your empathy, your energy, your experiences with them, for supporting them, challenging them, and celebrating them along the way this past year. We know it's not easy, as we all get busy during different times throughout the year, and the NUF committee wants to extend a huge thank you. I know that the fellows were already sharing you all with their appreciation, but we definitely want to say thank you for joining us this year on this journey. And having said that, we definitely want to show a token of our appreciation. So keep your eyes open on your emails this week. If you see something pop up, you don't want to delete it or miss it. It'll be a little something for you all. But again, thank you all for being with us this year.
Also, I just realized me and Aaron aren't on there.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, most of our committee is also mentors, which is just amazing. And again, just with our committee and support staff shout out, like we would not be able to do this work without any of us on this team. And as so many fellows have already mentioned, we do this on top of our day-to-day work, and we love it. And I know something that a few other folks have shared is that it truly is a labor of love, and it's that soul money. So, you know, we didn't get paid that much for our work in education, but we do get paid in lots of affirmations and thank you cards and mugs. And it is my favorite part of the week when we have NUF meetings. So to Sarah, my comie, this would not be NUF without you. And you always make us feel like we are enough. So it's truly an honor to work with you all the time. Panji, your leadership with our mentors is so necessary and so needed, and appreciate you always creating space for the mentors. Michael, one of our new folks to the team, we just could not do our work in education and assessment without you, and it's just it's always our goal to see our NUF alumni come back and serve on this committee. And to Aaron, oh my goodness, the ways that you show up for us, I have no words to describe your commitment, your dedication, and all of the ways that you just put the work out there for this committee. And Joe, another one of our new folks to the committee, on top of the work that you do for campus already, to make time for NUF and to make time to be a mentor consistently over the last 2 years is so heartwarming and so heartfelt. And we appreciate all of the work that you do. And we also have a couple of other folks who support our work on a day-to-day basis, including Karen Clementi, who is the executive assistant for the Community Resource and Retention Centers, Mayra Llamas, who is the executive director for the CRRCs and who provides consistent support and feedback and is truly a champion for our work in NUF to the student affairs people out there, as well as Dr. Sherry Atkinson, sorry, Doctora Llamas as well, just, you know, just to give that ownership and that honoring. And Dr. Sherry Atkinson, who is our AVC and also champions all of our funding for NUF. You know, even though we didn't go to conferences, we still had that funding, we still had that support, and we know that the intention and the heart is there. And we look forward to getting that coin next year, you know, just saying. So again, we really appreciate that. And also our business manager, Michael Rogai, for managing our monies and keeping us on track. Y'all, budgeting is a whole other thing, and I wish that we could have gotten into some of that content with all of you, but definitely you will learn it. You will learn it. You'll be forced to. So we appreciate all of you. And again, we wouldn't be here without you, and you wouldn't be here without us. So you're welcome.
And before we move on, Comey, Chrissy, you ain't getting away with no words about you either. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Perfect. For those of you who don't know, Chrissy is my Comey. And so she's the other co-chair of this committee. And I just have to say, like, holds me down, holds all of us down, remembers all the deadlines, makes sure that things are, you know, sent out on time, just always advocating, always thinking deeply about other people, always putting our students first. And I just have to say, like, working with you fills my soul. So I appreciate you.
All right. So just a couple of things, just as reminders for everyone, we appreciate everybody who's been part of this program throughout the years. There's lots of people who've continued to do that. And so continue to consider ways that you can still stay involved. Nominate someone if you haven't had a chance to nominate them. Consider being a mentor again next year. Or for those of you who are continuing your career in higher education, consider at the point when you're ready to be a mentor, share that experience. And as alumni, we're very excited that all of you may have opportunities to be able to join us in future events that we might be doing. Of course, if there's questions, if there's things that we can help you out with, just email Aaron or myself. Our emails are down there. Just a reminder on some of the dates so on Sunday, June 14th, we'll ask if you are able to go ahead and send the final project to us. We will accept that and work with those. If you have a chance to get them done sooner, let us know. If there's difficulties, just let us know. For interest applications, we already had some applications that have been sent in from June 1st. So those are going through the priority initial review, but we're also going to have a rolling review. We actually just got some more information from NASPA about when some of the deadlines will be. So we'll continue to work with those people who want to think about ways to get involved. And when we do have those, we'll be doing virtual interviews for those. So please encourage more people to get in touch with us if they have questions. And of course, reach out to us if there's questions. We are getting ready to take a little break for about 5 minutes. Yes? Is that correct, everybody? So feel free to hang out, chat with each other, and we will be back within about 5 minutes. So
I've received a package from NUF, and you have it handy. You might want to go and pull that out now. Because we would love for you all to show up and, you know, put your own stole on. I know it's hot, but we really still want to celebrate all of the work. Yes, I see it, that you all have done. Really celebrate all that you have done for this year, for yourselves as well. Just showing up every single day. just this has been just such a special cohort. So we really can't say enough. But that being said, I want everyone who is a mentor to have a chance to a little bit of space to talk about their fellow if they would like. So that being said, let's see, I guess Alondra, you're first on my list still because we're doing things alphabetically. So I'll go ahead and jump in just real fast. I don't know if you were able to see my chat when we were when you were presenting, but it has been such a pleasure getting to know you. It has been such a pleasure to share space with you. I need you to help me organize my life because I swear, spreadsheet queen, always doing such good research and really one of the most thoughtful people I think I've ever met. So thank you for every moment that we got to spend together. I know we just met and talked about this last week, but I really hope that it does not end here. And I'm so excited to see where you go because I know you will continue to change lives, whether in K through 12 or in higher ed. Anyone who interacts with you is really lucky to have met you. I know I am.
Oh, thank you, Erin. As much as you say I'm like organized, I feel like I was super all over the place this year, but you have a really good way of like asking really good questions that just kind of like organize my whole headspace. But yeah, I really appreciate you too, and I don't know how else I can like express my gratitude. I'll probably write you a letter later on. But yeah, thank you so much. It's been a really great year. And again, thank you to the whole planning committee as well and all the mentors and all the fellows. It's been a really good year, especially I've started this journey 5 years ago and I can't believe that's all I'm already here. So a little surreal, but thank y'all. It was great.
Thank you for letting us be a part of your journey. Joe, you're up next if you want to say anything about your fellow.
It was really great to be able to be part of the program again and to balance all that. And we had some great conversations about, we connected because I grew up in housing, right? Res Life is where I started it all. And so for us to be able to have those conversations, goosebumps. But it was great. And I felt that we had that be able to be our connection as we were looking things and looking through job search and stuff. So, but I also know it was a really rough year, but we had a chance to spend time with each other, share space with each other. So really excited for them to be able to get to the next journey in life as they're deciding those things that they want to do, but have appreciated Rowan sharing with me that how much the appreciation they have for student affairs and how much they've learned, particularly within this last year in the position they held within residence life too. So thanks for the opportunity to share our experiences.
Thanks, Joe. I forgot to mention if y'all have any additional shout outs for any of the folks that are getting highlighted right now or spotlighted, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Aaliyah, if you're still on, if you have anything that you want to say to Sierra, it is your floor.
I got lucky. This is my first year being a mentor for NUF, and I can't say it enough. I really got lucky. Sierra is awesome. She really made this mentor-mentee relationship work. I don't think I did much other than just be there to listen to her. Sorry, my kids are off the hook right now. Need to feed them. Anyways, so I am so honored to have crossed paths with Sierra, and I am grateful to have shared my wisdom with her. I learned a lot from her. She talked about being in the moment, and she reminded me of what it meant to go back to my undergrad years and prepping for graduate school. And so it was really humbling, and it was really an honor to be working with all of you, but specifically with Sierra. And I am looking forward to continuing to build the relationship and connecting throughout her time in grad school and beyond. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for everything and those great words celebrating Sierra. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I love you, Elia. Girl, we still go. I'm gonna still text you. I'm gonna still email you.
You got my number. My number won't change. But thank you, everybody. I have to leave. My kids, like I said, are hungry, and I got to get dinner ready for them. So thank you all. I wish you all the best. Congratulations. And I look forward to crossing paths with you all on campus or in the near future. And enjoy the summer. Bye.
Aurelia.
Bye.
Thank you both. You can tell that's another great match. Kristen, you have the floor if you want to say anything about Joel.
Hi everyone. I'm still shoveling food in my face because that's who I am. Snacks all day. So my camera's still off. But I just want to thank Joel for the opportunity to be a mentor. It has been a highlight of my year. It was a wonderful time. And a wonderful way for me to have like my first experience being an official NUFP mentor. I just really appreciate the conversations that we had, and you came into the space with, you were already super confident and you already had everything you needed to go into your interviews and your application processes. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to have worked with you, and it's just a really wonderful way to close out my time at UC Davis. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Like I said before, I appreciate you. You're the best.
Up next, I want to give the floor to Nacho if you're still on and have anything you would like to say about Jay.
Big screen popped up, said unmute myself. So I did that. Yeah, I said, and I see comments in there. God, I feel like a chat person or something. I don't use social media, so this is like the closest thing I'll get to it, I presume. But everything that I had shared earlier, so sweet of you all. Oh, qué precioso. But this is not about me. It's about Jay. Jay, you're just the absolute best. To know that there's anybody who could be as permanent in my life, that I would have a zodiac and astrology horoscope birth chart in my office board of just you and me, and have countless number of people be like, who is that? And I'll be like, one of those people is my mentee and one of them's me, and you can guess which one. So many people think that I'm a Cancer because of that, but I just happen to have a Cancer moon, y'all. I'm actually in Aries. At the end of the day, I think that sentimentality, that compassion, that attention to detail, and all of those things that come from the good balcony level stereotypes of Cancers are all applicable to you. I think you're a bleeding heart in the best way. And the main reason I'm here and working within these kinds of spaces is because of the ways I felt supported by mentors who identified like me and came from backgrounds like I did, to enter systems that weren't designed for me, to be able to engage in like radical, transformative opportunities. And those are the kinds of things you did in the LGBTQIA Resource Center. Those are the kinds of ways in which you aim to relate with your friends and peers. And those are the things you did in spaces beyond the LGBTQIA Resource Center with UCOP level institutional wide committees to support survivors of sexualized violence, and to generally just center an ethic of trans and queer liberation in your work. I hesitate to think of how I could find any more congruent a pairing. The magic of the pairing was really the best, and I miss you dearly, and I'm so excited for you to call you my mentee and to see you graduate.
Oh my gosh, I'm being a quintessential Cancer again. I'm overwhelmed with feelings right now. I'm so grateful for this pairing. The NUFP committee really did everyone, I think, a really great service in making these pairings. Everyone seems to be so perfectly matched, and I'm so grateful to have been paired with Nacho this year. I can't even explain all the ways in which they helped me navigate like what it even meant to have a career in student affairs and to like be able to visualize that for myself. I'm just so grateful for everyone here, and yeah, I'm really loving that Nacho and I got to have the switch experience where I'm a water, sun, fire, moon, and Nacho's a fire, sun, water, moon, and I think it really worked out for us. And if y'all want me to read your charts, I'll read your charts. That's all I have to say. Thank you, everyone.
Jay, I think we're going to need your consultation for next round of pairings. You can read everyone's charts and then tell us who needs to be matched together. So be on the lookout for that. I know that Amelia could not be here. I'm just pausing to make sure that they aren't going to pop on. But I believe someone on the committee has a couple of words to say about Micah.
Hi, Micah. You know, we've been able to get to know each other over the last year and a half since you became an intern for the SRC, and then since you became part of our SRC family. And I have just learned so much from you about your passions for makeup and hair colors. And anytime I saw you in the center, it brightened my day because you always just came in with such genuine, beautiful, positive energy, and you always made folks feel so welcome and so loved and so seen. And I think that is such a strength in you, that heart that you have for others and to hold space for so many people in your life is unmatched and can't be taught to anyone. And that's just a special gift that you have that I will really miss in the center. I wish that we could see each other in person and do that and just have this moment together. And yeah, just thank you so much for everything. And I hope that you have found a good path and a good journey for you with NUF, because I know that it's always been one of those things that for most of this cohort really is just kind of like, do I want to? And I've enjoyed witnessing that journey. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. I really do appreciate both my mentor Amelia, who couldn't be here. We just had so many talks, and I really appreciate it because she also got me out of the SRC. Like, I lived there practically, and having to meet with her over at the Student Health and Wellness Center kind of gave me time to walk, reflect, and be in a different environment. And Chrissy, thank you so much. You have opened up so many opportunities for me. You weren't my mentor, you were there for me in the SRC, and you're always taking the time to help us out no matter what. I mean, she even helped me out with my homework for some of my classes and technical difficulties. So really do appreciate your kind heart, and also just you're being yourself. Usually they say that colored hair isn't professional, stuff like that, but you know what, you rocked it, and you're the one that gave me that that energy to say whatever, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna show off my true colors. So thank you so much. Thank you to the NUF committee for the pairing between Amelia and me. And Chrissy, thank you for always being there for me. I really do appreciate you. I wish I could give you a hug, but situation.
Thanks, Micah. We know that many on the mentor and the NUF committee have mentored a lot of fellows, even if they weren't their match. So thank you both for helping remind us of that. Up next, Monet was unable to join us. So I believe someone on the committee also has a couple of words to share about Christian.
Hi, I can go ahead and begin sharing some words about Christian. So I had the pleasure of meeting Christian this year while serving the Chicanx Latinx community at UC Davis. For folks that don't know, Christian is highly involved within the community and seen and sought out as a leader. He serves on our CASA advisory board. He helped put on many different programs to the SRC and serving the community at large. And so everywhere I went, every single space, folks were like, have you connected with the folks at the SRC, specifically Cristian and the Sol y Luna team? So we wanted to take a moment to go ahead and appreciate you during this time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone. Shout out to Michael, always being a really nice face to see when I enter the CCC, and all the other folks in the Student Community Center and the CRCs. Loved working with y'all.
Hope I was on mute. Spencer, you have the floor if you would like to say anything about Juan.
Okay. Hey, Juan. Yeah, man, you made it sound like you were a pain in the ass, and that wasn't true at all. You were. It was fun for me to kind of help you think through some things, and you know, just be real about the fact that it's not always a like sexy, you know, clear picture about, you know, point A to point B, right? That like sometimes we gotta sort of just wander a little bit, and that's great. And like, thank you for teaching me so much about UC Davis. You know, I was new to campus this year, and so I feel like I learned at least as much as you did from our relationship. I'm not sure who was mentoring who, but I really appreciated getting to know you. And I think it, you know, we talked about at first you're not always that easy to get to know either. You're kind of closed off. So I see Panji smiling because he knows. But like, you know, I appreciate that given time you really did, you know, show up for me. And I always appreciated our conversations. I always appreciated checking with you to see how things are going. And I know you're going to be doing some great things for the next year while you're getting ready to go to law school. Something's gonna come together so that you'll be able to make the most of this year. And then law school better look out, man. You're gonna go blow them all away.
Again, thank you, Spencer. I really appreciate like all the help. Like you said, I wasn't a pain in the butt, but I feel like I was, you know, like so indecisive. But I really appreciate you helping me like get through that. And then also like sorry for being like such a closed book. I mean, that's just how I am. But
yeah.
Once I get comfortable, that's when I begin to open up. So.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Spencer. Up next, we have Jordan. I know that we had some conversations, Cecily and I, about whether or not, given the current climate, we have words to even muster for this lovely human, given that there's a lot going on for Black women and Black people everywhere. So I want to offer the floor to Cecily, as well as any committee member that would like to celebrate and honor Jordan.
I'm here. Yeah, I emailed Erin. Me and Jordan were texting like, "Girl, I'm tired." It's a rough time for all of us, but it's definitely a rough time to be Black right now. And actually, I mean, I think that's part of like Jordan. I'm so proud of you. The fact that you pushed through STEM at UC Davis as a Black woman, and all your different intersecting identities. I know it wasn't always easy, but you're so determined and focused, and I really feel like I learned a lot from you this year. And I know we did a lot of exploring, and sometimes I was frustrated that I couldn't help you as much as I wanted to, but I always feel like you were down to listen and down to learn. And I don't know, I miss walking to Mishka's and having me force you to talk about astrology. Thanks for listening to me talk about it for a long time. I'm a Taurus, Jordan's an Aries, for those who are wondering, but I'm on the Aries cusp. It worked out. So clearly there's something in the formula, Chrissy, like that y'all did zodiac-wise that worked out. But I just really enjoyed our authentic conversations we were able to have about our experiences on campus, and, you know, you being really vulnerable and honest with me about where you're at and figuring out next steps. And, you know, I hope that I've really instilled in you that you don't have to have it all figured out, and that you can take that break and that breather and take care of yourself. Yeah, and I don't know, I'm really sad that we can't close out the year in person, but I hope you know how proud I am of you. And I mean, all of you, you're all so amazing. I'm excited to count you as a colleague now. And yeah, I'm incredibly proud. You're a wonderful person, Jordan, and I'm really gonna miss you, and I can't wait to reunite and hopefully get some coffee soon.
I just want to say, like, thank you, Cecily, because believe it or not, even though you weren't a STEM major, you really kind of just solidified everything for me, and it helped out so much. For those of you who don't know, I feel like over my 2 years working with Cecily, it was always something going on. She was like, "What happened this time, Jordan? What happened this time?" So I kind of felt like if me and Cecily were a movie, it was just straight out of Compton, because I was just like, "Yo, Cecily, guess what?" And believe it or not, I would always tell people, like, if I get in trouble in Davis, I have Cecily on speed dial. Just call Cecily. Don't ask questions. Just be like, "Hey, Jordan needs help." And she would literally just jump on the boat and do it. Because I will say, being like having dyslexia and having a little short-term memory problem, and also still being a biochemistry and molecular biology, it has felt like a lot of people have pushed me to the side and didn't listen to me. And I just feel like being part of NUF kind of really helped solidify everything. And Cecily was just like, it's okay to stop, take a breather, and keep pushing. And just like I said, even Sarah, just always seeing them, making sure, like, keep speaking out, keep speaking out, keep speaking out, to where it was just second nature. So I do it without thinking. So thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. You've been such an important part of our cohort for so long. Up next, we have Michael to say a couple of words about Mario.
Yay! So I want to take this moment to go ahead and appreciate Mario. For folks that don't know, this is my second year being a NUF mentor, and Mario's been my only NUF mentee ever. So Mario's always gonna hold a special place in my heart. But our meetings, you know, there was never like a structure to our meetings, and we kind of just talked about life. We would update each other on our travels. He would go to Disneyland or amusement parks, or he would go back home, and then he would go ahead and tell me about that. Or actually, he's a wildlife, fish, and conservation major. There's some cool stuff happening in those classes too. He's all like, "Oh yeah, today I'm gonna go play with this reptile or with this bird," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I don't know what you're gonna be doing. So it was interesting to listen to those facts and that major as well. I think that is the heart and nature of UC Davis as a whole. So Mario knows, he has my contact information. This is not the first or last time we'll be in contact, but I wish you the best, and I hope you do get some time to travel. I know that you wanted to do summer abroad or semester abroad, but given the time, so I do hope that after COVID-19, you do take some time to go ahead and travel before your next success.
Yeah, just to add on, kind of like I'm just gonna echo what everyone else has been saying. I think these pairings were like a match made in heaven. Like, I feel like Michael and I are so similar. We're so like chill and laid back, and we have similar interests. So I'm really grateful for all the time that I was able to spend with him over these last 2 years. And this whole program has a really special place in my heart now. So shout out to all of y'all, especially us graduating seniors. We did it. We're almost there.
Woo. Thank you, Mario, for also being an important part of our cohort for so long. I have Chrissy and Davaris up next.
Ooh, oh, I see what Nacho's talking about now. Yes, yes, okay. Davaris had to leave, so I want to honor his space, but also I'm gonna just say, like, all of these affirmations that me and Sarah are getting for all of our pairs, like, that is the whole point, you know? But yes, we do a great job of matching people together, and that relates to Davaris and honoring all of his accomplishments, because when we actually met, well, it was last summer, it was after we had already accepted the rest of you into this cohort, and he just marched right into my life and was like, "I want to be part of NUF," and I was like, "Oh, we don't got room," but I decided to talked to him for what I thought would be a 15-minute call that turned into a 2-hour conversation about student affairs and retention and our lives. And after that conversation, I was like, I gotta be this person's mentor. So yes, me and Sarah, that's how we do our work. You know, we're just like, they wear flannels and hats. Cool, got it. Air sign, earth sign, you know, me and Tavares, we just balance each other out. So I just have to say about Tavares, like, he has found so much clarity in his educational career throughout this year, and I have been able to witness his brilliance in so many ways as a campus leader. And I am so honored to invite him into the USF HESA family and to call him my colleague and my mentee. And I know that I've learned so much from him, and I have been able to just have so many deep conversations, and I just am forever grateful for the experience that I've had with him. And I love all of the words that you all are saying about Tavares in all of the chat, and I'm gonna show it to him later. Actually, all of the stuff in the chat, would you all mind if I put it into like a document, you know, so that you all can keep it? Those are just such beautiful affirmations, and we want to keep it. So yeah, Tavares, amazing, congratulations.
Thank you, Chrissy. And I hope Tavares gets to see the chat and the recording to hear all the amazing things that y'all are so saying about them. That is the list of graduating fellows that I have, but I want to open the space just in case I missed anyone.
I want to say something real quick because I didn't have a mentor, but I just want to give one more shout out to Jay. I know that we met way back when, your first time at UC Davis, and I'm super proud to see the person you've grown into and become. Yeah, and I can't wait to hear about all of the amazing things that you do in the future.
Can I just say one thing? Chris, like, Panji, oh my gosh, like, you are literally the person that I want to be in student affairs. Like, you were with me during like the darkest moment of my life, and you got me out of it. And I'm crying, which of course I'm the one to cry. I'm aware. But I'm just so grateful for you. Thank you for everything you do.
Of course. Love ya.
I don't know if you all saw Chrissy's chat too, but I will open up the space for anyone else who has any other affirmations or things they want to say about anyone in this amazing NUF family.
This is E. I would love to brag on my mentee. I don't know if she's still, there you are. Okay. I just had to find you in this Brady Bunch photos that we have here. I think just in a moment of full transparency and vulnerability, I have not had the best transition at UC Davis. And Tanya, you really served as a reminder as to why I've committed myself to being a student affairs professional. And I don't know that you understand how much you really changed my perspective of UC Davis, because like I said, I had, for a lot of different reasons, just had a tough, challenging time at UC Davis. And so I just want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey, and allowing the space to be able to talk through a lot of things. And so I just want to say I'm very proud of you. I have loved seeing you kind of figure out what you want to do, and running into you on campus, and know that I'll be in your corner forever. So always reach out, whether it's 5 months down the road or 5 years down the road, I'll always be here for you. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey.
Thank you so much, E. You've also just done so much to help me out, and like all of your knowledge and everything, like you may have been new to UC Davis, but you had so much knowledge that I was just like, you blew my mind. Like I felt like you really taught me a lot, and I'm so excited just to keep connecting with you and keep telling you all my crazy shenanigans when I'm trying to figure out what's going on with grad school and everything, and also just hearing more about your transition and just talking it through some more. So thank you so much.
The floor is still open if there's any other comments that anyone else would like to share about anyone on this call or not on this call.
I can go. I just want to say I've really enjoyed this experience. I think that me and Mylin were a really great pair. I've been really excited just seeing her grow throughout this year, and I'm so excited to see kind of what the next year brings. I know that life is strange right now, but something as a people, like, we are adaptable, and we'll come out of this in a better place. So I've really enjoyed this experience. And yeah, Mylin's great.
And just, I wanted to thank you, Valerie. You're the sweetest, and I'm sure we'll be staying in contact next year. So thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna put one last call out there. No one needs to occupy the space unless they want to, but want to make sure everyone has the floor if they need it.
I just wanted to close by thanking everybody for being present today. For folks who felt like it was easy or necessary, vital to be present in such a joyful space, I hope that you got out of it what you're hoping. For those who found it more laborious, difficult, cumbersome to be present, I value it all the more. I think it's really important to acknowledge that, in a lot of ways, the world is on fire right now. And a lot of the reason why it's on fire is because of historical injustices and oppression and oppressive systems that affect all the communities from which we're coming from. And so knowing that folks have taken the time to be together with one another in community is in and of itself an act of resistance and defiance against those norms. So I'm so happy I got to see all of you, and it's meant so much. And to know that we have one another in spite of everything going on.
Thank you, Nacho. Literally think you need to speak at every meeting or function I ever have. So look for those future invitations. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to Michael and Chrissy for what's next. I think we're really close to the end, so thank you all for sharing space with us.
Yay. So we are reaching our end. We only got 2 more things. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about my own experience. So as many know, I am an alumni of UC Davis and the UC Davis NUFP program. And I was sitting here today listening to everyone's conversation and kind of just reminding myself, right? So for many of us that do this work and to continue to do the work of liberating our historically marginalized folks on college campuses or in the system of higher education. Oftentimes we find ourselves thinking about why we continue to do this work. And today, along with graduations, along with end of the year reunions, always remind us exactly why we continue to do this work every single year. So thank you all for sharing your experience, and thank you for allowing us to see your growth and development, and for reminding us why we continue to do this work on our college campuses. Lastly, one last reminder to our fellows, you will always be part of the UC Davis NUFP program. And so don't be surprised if one of us is tapping your shoulders next year to come back on the panel or to give back. I think somebody already mentioned that we always try to give back in this profession. And so one of the ways that we'll definitely be giving back is by giving back to our UC Davis NUFP family. And so in the future, you all will be reached out to come and serve as alumni for our panels, or to even host some of our workshops for our fellows in the upcoming years as well. So thank you all, and I'm gonna pass it over to Chrissy to finish us off.
Actually, we're passing it over to Sarah.
Passing it over to Sarah.
All right, last minute change. So thank you, Michael. I think that you summed everything up really, really beautifully. Part of this work is really coming together and building spaces that are inclusive and are taking into consideration the need to really uplift and empower each other. And I think E's story really resonated with me in the sense that we as career staff, we don't always have it figured out, and we don't always know whether or not we're going to stay in this field or if we're going to leave the field for whatever reason. But chances are someone, a student, is going to help keep us in the place that we are and remind us that this work that we do is valuable. And so each of you in our way, we want to thank you for that work. And we have had a unique piece of art commissioned by Frances Mead, who is a Black queer artist down in the Bay Area in Oakland. And we want to give you a little insight into what that looks like. It's really a celebration of your resilience and your abundance. And mentors, you will also be getting a copy of this artwork as well, because we are all connected and part of this family. So let me show you what this looks like. This is just the sketch. It's from what I understand, it's filled in, and it will be sent out soon. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it really represents who we are as a community that's borders don't exist, a community that is constantly growing and changing and fluctuating with the times. I apologize for its very light in pencil, but it in the top left-hand corner says resilience in our blood. It has a beautiful image of 3 humans. They're all going to be different colors. They're different genders. They encompass the plethora of diversity and variety and magic that we have in our community. And they're just surrounded and embedded in a beautiful array of flowers and butterflies, which embrace and represent change and growth. And then in the bottom left or right-hand corner is abundance in our destiny, because each of you is a continuation and a building stone for the destiny that we are creating for ourselves. And each of your names will be incorporated into this as well, so that you can remember that this is who you are, and this is what you encompass, and this is what you have within you, and what you have to share with the world. So mentors, all of that goes to say that you are this as well, that our community is resilient and we are abundant and we are absolutely beautiful. So please look out in the mail for that. It should be coming soon. And mentors, if you could please make sure to share your shipping address, your mailing address, wherever you are currently located, so that you can receive this and be able to hang it up in your office. Joel, we want this to be one of your first pieces of artwork at your grad program, in your residence hall room, in wherever is going to be a beautiful place to remind you that this is exactly who you are. So, yeah.
I really appreciate that we get to share that artwork and that message with all of you. And as we come to a close, we're going to take a group picture. So if you want to be in the group picture, please, either you can turn on your cameras or your name can be in the picture. We would love to see your stoles and your faces and just everything about you. And if you don't want to be in the picture too, that's cool. I respect it. Nacho, please.
Nacho, I literally cannot with you.
That's the wrong address, isn't it? Hopkins Drive.
Wait, don't send it to One Schultz Avenue because they're all gonna come to the EOP cottage because that's where everybody else's packages come.
Oh.
So
I'm gonna send it
please email me your address.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna take a picture. Let me try to do this. Okay, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, dog. Okay, sorry. Another one, just in case. 1, 2, 3. Cute. Everyone looks amazing, beautiful. And I think that's all I have for everyone.
Well,
I don't know.
well, yeah, everyone looks beautiful and dapper and handsome and all the things because
all the things.
Did we see all these pictures? I'm like, if anybody knows a modeling agency, like let's get these fellows some modeling gigs because they're out here serving all kinds of looks.
Guys, if everyone could unmute themselves now, I mean, I would love to hear everyone's voices in the space just to fill up my dining table, you know? No?
Yes.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Anticlimactic.
I know, I tried. I thought it was going to work out differently. I don't know.
Chrissy was like, and now the floor is everyone's, and was expecting a coordinated, and I had the time of my life.
Yes.
Wait, Nacho, where's the rest?
Somebody else can pick it up. I don't know the next words. Something, 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 you. I don't know.
And I owe it all to you, yeah.
And I've never felt this way before, right?
And I swear.
Angie's got it.
For next year, you should have the mentors and mentees sing a song together, just saying.
I love how you say that like when you're leaving.
I would have suggested if I was coming back. I'm graduating.
In fact, we're gonna ask all of y'all who are
We'll bring back the alumni.
Here we go.
I would
Alumni panel.
Yes. Well, that's all that we have for all of you today. Again, thank you all so much for being here. Despite everything going on, I hope that this brings a little bit of joy and light to your days. And seriously, thank you to all of the committee, all of the mentors, all of the fellows. We owe so much to all of you. And that's it. So y'all can just go to another room or something. Happy end of the year.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.